Hey, morning everyone. It's Jamie here, founder of Pinnacle Lifestyle Programs, where I work with individuals as a health, success, and wellness coach to help people create lives of unlimited passion, prosperity, and purpose. I want to welcome you all today to the video on Sunday, which is my favorite day of the week for some Sunday spirituality and self-reflection time. For today's video and today's theme, I have to give a huge shout out to one of my clients, West, who just recently finished his junior year of college and inspired me with this theme that I feel like is so important, but it's so easy to forget in our lives. And that's a theme of connection. He said something to me when he was talking about his fears of graduating next year. And he was afraid more than anything else of falling out of touch with his friends and the people that he cares about. He wasn't afraid of the job market. He wasn't afraid of finances. He wasn't afraid of judgment. He was afraid of losing that one thing which can't be replaced by money or other external valuables. Connection and friendship and love. And it got me thinking that so much of the time we can easily neglect our friendships, our relationships when we get busy or get caught up in things. But I found this study that blew me away. It was a study by a set of hospice workers who interviewed patients on their deathbed who were dying and asked them what are the things that they regretted most in their life, that they wish they would have done differently. And more than anything else, what they all talked about were wishing they'd spent more time being authentic to themselves and in their relationship. And I know for me, connection is such an important part of my life these days. Intimately, professionally, business-wise, friendships, everything comes down to relationships. That's what we're hardwired for. That's what we're made for as human beings. To share ourselves, to share others' pains and their joys and their sorrows. And it's just such a gift on a day like today to take a moment and step back and ask yourself that simple question. How are the relationships in my life? Am I showing up the way that I want to be seen in relationship with other people? Am I showing up in a way that attracts others to me who have the same values and beliefs that I do? One of the things I complained for a lot of time was I couldn't find a relationship that was full of fun and passion. I couldn't find people who were as excited and crazy about life as I was. And I took a step back and realized there were a lot of days where I was showing up as angry and miserable and beat up and exhausted, and it was no wonder why I was being surrounded by people who were angry and beat up and exhausted. Or when I was busy, I was surrounded by a lot of people who were busy and had a lot of great superficial surface type relationships. But I'm talking about having relationships that go deep, that go beyond just the hey, how you doing, what are you doing next week, how's the weather. I'm talking about relationships where you can be real and you can express your fears. You can express the things that you don't want to share, but that when you show that vulnerability, it allows someone else to be vulnerable, and you open a window for them to express themselves. And those are the moments where grace appears, and you have that heart-to-heart connection, that soul-to-soul experience of two people just being real and being raw. So today's video, I always try to keep these under 5 minutes now because I know everyone's busy, speaking of being busy. And I want to just share kind of 4 tips to me that I really feel like are beautiful fundamentals for building those strong relationships. And maybe you can take 1 or 2 and carry them with you in your week as you go out and connect with others. But the first one is listening. Really listening actively and enabling others to express themselves. To see someone else, to hear someone else, to really be fully present for anyone you come into contact with. You never know when you're going to meet a stranger who's going to give you exactly what you need. The universe works in such beautiful synchronous ways. The second would be to accept others without judgment. To let go of any judgment or any preconceived notions. And as you're listening, as you're being present, just to accept someone fully as they are in that moment and see yourself. See what part of yourself they represent. Because we're all the same. We're all connected. The third would be to understand others' perspectives. To put yourself in their shoes. To have some empathy, to have some understanding of the feelings or the experience that they're going through, and really relate to them, and be able to understand and give them what they need and the experience that they have. And the fourth one, my most favorite one, and what I love doing as a coach, the fourth one is to act in an empowered way to meet their needs and values and be of service to them, to act in an empowered way. There's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Empathy is being able to understand and to relate intellectually to what someone's experiencing. To sympathize is to have the same emotions and to express emotions. So how can you empathize intellectually with what they're experiencing and then sympathize from an empowered way to serve them and to give them a boost, to ask them a question that can shift their perspective and help connect to them if they're in trouble, or show them love if you're just being there for them? How can you empower others through connection? And so with those four things, I will leave you to continue on this amazing Sunday to create some beautiful, abundant relationships, because that is what life is all about. It's all about relationships. And I am so appreciative of being in this relationship with you, albeit virtual, albeit a little funky sometimes, one-sided maybe from my perspective. But I love being able to share myself with you, and I'm so grateful that you take the time on Sunday to connect with yourself and share it with others in the world that means something to you. So as always, God bless. Have a fantastic Sunday. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.